Lynn and I'm here to talk to you today about World Food Day. Before I begin, I'm just going to give a little boost and a little shout out to my friends at Lynn's Kids. Hi, Christine Yakama, you're doing a great job with the women in Kenya. Lynn's Kids and Saving Souls Women's Network are partners, and we're here to support each other. Hi, Lisita, who is a monthly sponsor of Lynn's Kids. Hi, Suki, and hi, everyone else, Barbara. I hope you're coming back soon. I'm here for a very reason, which a lot of my reasons have passion, but this is the biggest one. It is World Food Day. Now, I'm here with Cecil B. DeMille, my husband, who thinks he's a film director. He's making me dizzy, and he's walking back and forth. Now, in October, the day it normally falls out on October 17th is World Food Day. I don't know what kind of action I'll have, but in the very first weekend of October, which is really technically next week, I am going to start collections and start talking about helping the hungry. Now, I'm not only talking about the homeless. There are many people who live in apartments and can pay for their rent, but cannot put food on the table. Those are the hungry. The homeless too, they don't have the apartment, they live in shelters and they get food from soup kitchens. So I'm basically talking about a middle class who gets screwed in every possible way. Now, the idea is that we are paying rent. I pay a lot for rent. We do have food on our table sometimes, not all the time. And there are plenty of people who don't have money for food on their table. And that is what I'm here to talk about. If you notice in Facebook, most of my poetry lately is for the Homeless Hotel, Part 2. And to me, how can society turn their back on a group of people who are really suffering? Now, I watch people, and it doesn't only have to be here, but when I went to Washington, D.C., it was about 6 years ago, well, before I moved to Freedom, and I was amazed at how many homeless people were lying on the streets, on park benches, while Congress had their $50 plate lunches that made me nauseous. How can they go and spend all this money and have these budget deficits, and yet you have your homeless people on the street? Now, I'm going to turn off a lot of people, and you know what? I don't care. My David Braun, who taught me my activism, always told me, do what you think is right, as long as you don't hurt anybody directly. So here I go. When we go into places, and I like to go out to eat the same as the next person, but if we could spare a little bit of what we have. I always try to carry an extra bottle of water with me. Maybe there's somebody on the street who needs water. It could even be an elderly person who's not homeless or hungry. We have to show compassion, yet they are society's embarrassments. And what bothers me the most about that is it can happen to any one of us. Now, my friend Lisa Valentine loves the ending of all my poems. Most of the poems I end with, remember, please do, that homeless person tomorrow might be you. It doesn't have to be homeless, it could just be poor. Poverty knocks on anyone's door. There is no one who is immune. It's not like cancer. There's no one who is immune to poverty. Poverty can just knock on your door, and if you answer it, the rest of your life is destroyed. I worked all my life. I wasn't that great on saving, but I worked all my life. Yes, I live in a home and in apartments, and I'm very happy with my life because I fight for causes. If you don't fight for any cause, and that's your business, take the time to really feel for anybody who has to sleep outside in this weather, or for anybody who doesn't have enough food to eat. Now, in October, I'm going to be a lot rougher than I am right now to learn how to mute me. You're going to hear me. You're going to hear me every single week. Lynn's Kids, the exciting thing is that Lynn's Kids will be doing a hunger action in every one of Lynn's Kids' countries. And if you've been reading about Lynn's Kids, you know the countries. And the exciting thing is we'll all be doing our own hunger actions. So I'm going to have a meeting on Saturday. I didn't tell you about that topic. And we're all going to be talking about hunger actions that we can do involving our children, involving our families. And every country will be doing their own action. I already spoke to Mohammed Bangladesh. Mohammed Hasnain in Bangladesh. I spoke to another friend of mine in Morocco. I spoke to Vinud in India. I spoke to so many people, and every country will be doing an action. Of course, we can't do it at the same time. Why? because the world clock would drive us crazy. But Tofik is gonna make it into one video, and you will see, but it won't just be, it'll be the kind of video that really touches your heart. And if you want to contribute to any, and I've done research on every hunger project in New York. If you want to do any kind, it doesn't have to be New York. The world, I wouldn't say the World Food Bank. I'm not 100% sure about that. I would say Feeding America, Hunger Action of New York. And they really, I volunteered for them for a long time. Lynn's Kids, Saving Souls Women's Network, but basically I would say Lynn's Kids. We do more hunger action than anyone I know. Any hunger, you can go on and take a look. It doesn't have to be for Lynn. Any hunger group can be listed anywhere. Now, my favorite would be, of course, Lynn's Kids, but you know that's a little bit of nepotism. But Feeding America or the New York Food Bank are two very reputable groups that the money actually goes from their pocket to the poor people. That's where we get these. Second Harvest is another one. Second Harvest, our friend and I used to do a little bit for them. And Second Harvest has to do with, they take extra food that's left over in restaurants. I don't think Tofik knows about this. They take extra food that's left over in restaurants in New York. And what they do is they take the food and then they deliver it to the local soup kitchen. Or to any place that processes it, and then it goes.
What is local soup kitchen, baby?
Well, it depends on where you are. Where I used to work, which was on Linden Boulevard, so many years ago. We used to go to the soup kitchen, which was on Linden Boulevard, close to Lenox Road. And we used to deliver the food there and process it. They processed it. All we did was deliver it. I think the best thing in the world that you can do is to involve students, and that's what Lynn's Kids is going to be doing. I'm going to be talking to Delaney Bennett probably sometime today, and she will be my coordinator of children's services as far as doing this in California. I'm going to involve children from all over the world that I can. Has named children in Bangladesh will be working along with me. I'm sure Vinod has some students in India. A friend of mine in Morocco, he has 1 million students, so don't worry about him. I think that the most important thing, and I'll get teachers from here too, when you teaching is not just getting a paycheck, it is giving your heart to students. And if you're just in it to get the paycheck, you're going to be a terrible teacher. To me, teaching is a work of heart, and that will never pass me. I want to thank Joel Rubenfeld. I don't know where you are. I don't know if you are. But Joel Rubenfeld many years ago had hired me for a special program. And it was Jacob Javits Gifted and Talented program. I had been a little bit opposed to teaching the gifted because I thought poor children needed me more. But that was okay. These were poor children. And they were gifted. And they deserved to have their talent exposed. They knew about Mozart by the end of the year. They knew about Van Gogh. And a lot of these classes I had for 2 or 3 years. And I became a library teacher, and I did this with the whole school. Joel Rubenfeld, as a present, gave me a book, and it was called Uncle Willie and the Soup Kitchen by Diane DeSalvo Ryan. This book opened my heart. Of course, I cried throughout the entire book. But it opened my heart, and it opened my mind, which is more important. And then I became this crazy hunger lady. And it shouldn't be only World Food Day. It should be every day of the year. We should be fighting for the homeless and the hungry. And I think that the most important thing is that we need to be human. Now, Tofik, if you could give me a minute, I want to just find that poem on Facebook.
Go.
I think I can get it. I don't know. Let's see.
Do it, baby.
Okay. Why don't you talk a little bit about poverty, Tofik?
Yeah, poverty is everywhere, you know. It doesn't exist only in third world countries, you know, developing countries. But even in developed countries like US, we have a lot of people in need, you know. It's not the, Times Square, Liberty Statues or all the touristic places, but in some streets all over Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Bronx, and Long Island, there are still people who can't afford to buy food. So anyway, go ahead,
Okay.
baby.
Welcome to Tourist Town. New York, the city of life, filled with activities all day, so much to do at night. Starbucks on every other corner here. Keeps you cold in the summer. In the winter, it helps you feel warmer. Welcome to Tourist Town. The Empire States Building and the Museum of Natural History are two sites that you must see. Central Park, which covers many blocks of the city. So pretty. The tourist town. Restaurants for every ethnicity. The Statue of Liberty for every tourist to see. Embassy Row with flags galore. So much to do, so much in store. Welcome to Tourist Town. Yet in so many places they hold signs asking for a few cents. Brother, can you spare a dime? Money for soup or a cup of hot tea. We walk by very quickly. They aren't the people that we want to see. Welcome to Tourist Town. With shopping bags from every store. Why would we make them our priority? They are not worth fighting for. God created us equally. Freedom for you, freedom for me. Welcome to Tourist Town. They deserve our sympathy. It's a time to advocate for the homeless, show compassion and pity. Call politicians and never forget. They are part of our population. It's time to let them know how much we care. Will you fight for them? Will you share? Share your heart, share your soul. World Food Day is coming. Are you ready to rock and roll? Welcome to Tourist Town.
Wow.
Thank you, Sophie.
Yes, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is I don't tell you what to do. I live this. My 75% of my life, and Sophie will tell you that it's true. I don't sleep. I'm up in the middle of the night writing, or I'm doing something that, involves helping these people, helping children. Do you know how many children? There are more than 46% of the children in New York are living in poverty. Can you live with that statistic? I can't. The thought of any child not having enough food to eat. It's a terrible thing. I've served in many soup kitchens. My favorite was the Village Soup Kitchen. And I actually was the team leader there for New York Years, which is a wonderful relief organization, for 2 years. And then COVID came, and that was the end of that. We helped so many people. And there were many children. Yes, children in one way, the older children benefit by going to school because they get a school breakfast and they get a school lunch. How do we know if they eat dinner? When I used to teach, kids used to come in and I used to get so annoyed with them. You used to put their heads down on the desk and hear one thing that I taught. And then I said to myself, after Uncle Willie in the soup kitchen, be human. That child probably didn't eat last night. Or maybe that child couldn't sleep because he was so hungry. Isn't it time that we hear their cries? All I want to say is on World Food Day, if you can't get out there and do an action, for whatever reason, that's your business, donate to a relief organization and show the poor and the homeless that we care. It doesn't have to be homeless. It can just be people that just can't. They can put food on their table, but that's it. Thank you so much for your time. Come visit Sophie, Lynn's kids.